Good morning. Welcome to Wisdom for Your Week. I'm April Williams, and this is Friday with Friends. And today I have a very special guest with me. Joy Catoe is here. The friends are back on Wisdom for Your Week.
Holla.
So we are excited to be back on this special Friday edition. And all week I've been talking about emotional intelligence. And this is something that even Joy and I like to talk about when we were eating out.
We're not boring, we swear.
Eating out sometimes, and it's a topic that Joy finds to be very close to her heart. She has a lot of wisdom about emotional intelligence. So what you may say, well, what is emotional intelligence, April? Well, first of all, you should have been watching all week. But if you haven't been watching this week, emotional intelligence is your capacity to properly label your emotions and the emotions of others, and it really helps you navigate difficult situations with grace and ease. So Joy has some points today about emotional intelligence that she wants to share with us.
Yeah. So I think when you go through everyday life, there's ways you can actually display emotional intelligence. And I think you brought this up earlier, but it's easier to bring up your emotional intelligence than it is like your IQ, because it's a behavioral thing. So you can change your behavior. So sometimes you have to practice emotional intelligence. You have to make a conscious choice to do that. So certain ways that you can do that just in everyday life is you can give compliments or give praise to other people. People with a high emotional intelligence want to see others succeed. They don't see those people as their competition. They realize that by giving you credit for what you've done right doesn't then discredit what they've done. But low, I say EQ,
Yeah.
But emotional intelligence, they don't see it that way. Everything's a competition. So why would they make somebody look better? Because it might make them look bad.
Yeah, because basically they're insecure.
They're insecure. High emotional intelligent people are not insecure. They're very self-aware. As you know, that's a big thing, is just being self-aware. So just practice giving praise or compliments to other people in everyday life.
And you'd be surprised in a lot of workplaces, a lot of the appreciation and showing respect or showing thank you so much for doing this, it's just not there.
It's not. It's not. Even from leaders with the title, they need to be more aware of doing that with their staff and their employees. I know I've worked with in the past people that felt threatened by their employees. Again, everything's a competition. So they wouldn't make their team look good because in some way they felt like that would make them come after their job. You need to make your team look good. That makes you look good.
Yeah.
It's plus, like you're defeating the purpose here.
I mean, what a dynamic, too, people don't realize. The more you appreciate what people do, the better performance.
Absolutely.
And it goes for the workplace. It goes for at home with children. When you show appreciation for, hey, that was a good job, then it really builds up self-confidence in the other person. And like you said, I think it boils down to there's not a team spirit with some managers, some supervisors. And just, that's so simple. Just appreciate. And even today, look around today, be appreciative and voice it.
Absolutely. Another one is just to become difficult to offend. And this is definitely going to be something some people have to practice. If you're easily offended, if you're highly sensitive, this would be hard. But you can practice it. This is where your pausing comes into effect, which I think is a huge key. That's just the key to emotional intelligence. Pause before you react, or just recognize the feeling, but you need to learn that to not take everything so personally, and pausing would really help you do that. Like, was that really toward me? And if it was, how do I feel about it? And then just move on from there, because some people are just offended by everything. You can't go out to lunch with other people. You can't make decisions without including them when it's not even their place to be in the decision-making process. So you need to learn and practice not being so sensitive and taking things so personally. So you need to become difficult to offend. People with a high emotional intelligence have thick skin, or thicker than some.
Which is really the interesting dynamic about emotional intelligence. So the first one we talk talked about was appreciating others, but then the second one you mentioned is not being easily offended, and it's a balance between being aware of your emotions and being aware of others' emotions.
Absolutely.
And properly responding. So if I'm aware of my emotions, I'm going to realize, well, wait a minute, why am I really offended by that?
Absolutely. That's right.
And to not just react, not to just be this reactor. And there have been times in my life when I've just been this little reactor, just reacting to all kind of different things. And you know
I still am sometimes. I know.
She's not.
I'm working on it.
Joy,
Number 2 is working.
Joy is so understanding. She, just like her art of acceptance, that is her platform to be accepting of others. She even tries to help my kids. So the other day,
oh Lord, what?
The other day we're sitting at the table eating at one of our favorite Mexican restaurants, and my kid makes this comment about certain people being weird, and Joy said, "They're not weird, they're different, and it's okay to be different." She's like trying to help my kids. She's like, they need some acceptance.
I didn't even realize I did.
April's weak in the area, so they need some help. So she's trying to help you. She's trying to help my kids. That made me laugh when I got home because I thought, that's good. She's trying to help. It's okay to be different.
I promise I'm not trying to raise anybody else's kids. I didn't realize I did that.
I appreciated it. It's a good balance.
That's too funny. Yeah, I'll do that to my kids all the time. I know they get so tired of hearing about it because they're just playing, and I'm like, look, you need to chill.
It's okay to be weird.
Yeah, you don't know if that person has a disorder that makes them that overweight, or, maybe she really liked that outfit. Leave her alone.
She felt good in it.
I mean, I might not would wear the outfit, but, she might really like it.
Joy helps me so much. And my kids. All the time.
I'll be there for you. Number 3 is one you just recently spoke about, but bouncing back after a problem or through change. So you did touch on that this week. But you'll notice that some people might take hours or days to get over something. And they're still crying about it, or they're frustrated about it, and they're angry, whatever the feeling or emotion is, for days, weeks.
Yeah.
Some people, it goes on for a really long time. You really need to work on dealing with those emotions and bouncing back from those changes, whether it's a change in the workplace that you have no control over. You need to recognize what you can control and what you can't. You can control your emotions.
Yeah.
You can't always control the changes taking place, so you have to learn to be adaptable. But part of that is bouncing back. Recognize the feeling. Feel what you're going to feel. I'm not saying be fake or fake your way through it. Feel it, but you need to learn how to replace it. You need to learn how to change quickly with that.
Be buoyant. It's like that John C. Maxwell principle that we've talked about before, the 24-hour rule.
Yep.
And I've
That's
experienced
a perfect
this.
one, I think.
You may not, because she's had a very successful career. But I went for a job interview one time that I really, really wanted the job, and I had a vision. I had a vision for this job, y'all. I really felt like I had bullet points for what could be accomplished with this job. Had a great interview, I thought, but I didn't get the job. I was so disappointed. And I came home, and it's good to allow yourself to feel the emotions.
Oh, you have to.
The thing about emotional intelligence is not denying your emotions. It's not trying to put on the stoic outlook and not, but to really honestly identify the emotions. And so I gave myself I went to my room and I lied down on my bed and just allowed myself to feel the whole thing. And then by that afternoon, I said, okay, that's good. That's enough. I'm going to move on. And so it's not denying the emotions, but just letting yourself be immersed in them for a while, and then just being buoyant and moving back and saying, and if you have that relationship with God, you can say, okay, God, this was not your will, or this was not in the plan. I accept, and I believe I have better things ahead of me.
Right.
And that's the buoyancy and bouncing back part. And that's hard to do sometimes.
It is hard, but you're right. You don't deny the feeling. So I'm not, in anything I'm saying, even with becoming easily offended, don't deny what you're feeling. Feel it, but you have to learn how to control it.
Yeah.
If you have to dive in there and feel it for a couple hours, go home, cry yourself to sleep, take a shower, cry. Whatever the emotion is, feel it, but you need to wake up the next morning. And you need, especially like in the workplace, you're going to be working with these people. You need to learn how to get over these things, turn the page, as we say. You need to learn how to just turn the page and keep having those relationships or whatever it may be. So you definitely feel it.
Yeah, and
but you have to learn how to replace it, or like you replace it with thoughts of, well, there's something better for me.
Yeah.
This is not God's will. You have to learn what you can replace it with. You need to replace it with something else.
Yeah, and you can't, like you say, you can't control the necessarily pretend emotions didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
You can't control the circumstances. But I had said, I think it was Wednesday or Thursday, you can control your attitude.
Yes, you
Your
can.
attitude is everything, and I know you've experienced it. I've experienced it where there are employees or staff that will come in who wear their emotions on their sleeve. It affects the whole culture.
It does.
It affects the whole atmosphere, and you just don't do it. Don't bring that stuff to work.
Mm-hmm.
Don't bring it to different circumstances. Deal with your emotions, evaluate them honestly,
Mm-hmm.
and then move on. And that is having the high emotional intelligence to be able to honestly look at them, but properly label them.
Yes, and that's something that people with low IQ can't do. I mean, low EQ can't do. They just say, well, I'm sad, or I feel bad. No, you're frustrated, or
Mm-hmm.
you're hurt. You have to properly label what you're feeling so you know how to deal with the feeling. Because if you don't recognize it,
Yeah.
yeah.
You'll never be able to deal with it. So what were the three? What are our 3 bullet points to high EQ today?
Yeah, EQ. Give praise and compliments to others. So when
Okay.
you see other people doing well, tell them. Become difficult to offend. That one will take practice, but do it
every day, every single day.
Practice.
I know.
And bounce back after a problem or through change. Bounce back quickly.
And those are your 3 points to having a high emotional intelligence. Thank you for joining us today. Hey, like and share, like and share. You know some people that need to hear this message today. So you don't have to tag them, but just, hey, share this today. Share this today. Also, I'm on LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. And go to Joy's website, artofacceptance.com. There's some great vlogs there, some great resources that will help you navigate your life and help you. I need to get my kids to watch it. Help you.
My kids are in some of them.
Help you accept others and be an understanding person. Just really great. So go to that. And hey, email me at wisdomforyourweek@gmail.com, wisdomforyourweek@gmail.com. And if you enjoy what you're hearing today, if you enjoy what you see on Art of Acceptance, if you enjoy what you see on Wisdom for Your Week, hey, come join us at Beyond Church at 110 East Gay Street. We are a family, and we love one another, and we encourage one another. We would love to have you. Hey, you could see both of us together live.
Hello.
In person. It's fabulous. So thank you so much. We hope you have a great Friday. Hey,
Yes.
stay inspired.